Hey friends, it's Kaylin here and welcome to my homeschool. Today's video is going to be a product review of the curriculum that's created by Erica over at Confessions of a Homeschooler, and this is her Letters of the Week curriculum. It's really inexpensive and there's a lot of pros that go with it. So in this video I'm going to show you all of the things that come in her kit and kind of how I use them in my preschool, and then I'll also talk about the pros and cons that come if you choose to purchase this kit, and it'll kind of give you an idea of one way that you can bring a little curriculum into your classroom for not very much money. So if you're interested in it, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the Letters of the Week curriculum. Now, to purchase this curriculum, you need to go to Erica's website, which is www.confessionsofahomeschooler.com. It's right here so that you can see it there. And it's $15 to purchase the curriculum for your home. If you run a public preschool, or if you want to use it for like your kindergarten class or something like that, then you need to purchase a commercialized license, and I believe that that's $25 if you buy them from her. So it's really easy. Now, the whole curriculum comes as a digital copy. So when you buy it, then you will be given, I believe it's 4 zipped files that have just a ton of printables. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can print all of these materials. You can either print it one letter at a time and pick and choose which activities you want to do with your child that day or that week, or you can just print the whole thing. Now, I love color copies, and my little home color printer was not going to be sufficient for, I think there's like 1,700 copies or something ridiculous that you make. So my recommendation is to use the company MGX Copy. It's found at www.mgx.copy.com, and their fees are very inexpensive, and with 1,700 copies, I think that the price gets down to like, I don't know, 9 to 11 cents per color copy. I can't remember exactly what it is. And then because it's color copy, they have a promotion where color copies are shipped free if you meet a certain limit. So I think it's about $25 to have all of the curriculum printed. Maybe a little more than that, I can't remember exactly, but budget about $50 and you'll be safe. And then you'll get a box a couple of days later. The company will send you a PDF file proof of what you've submitted to them, and then you will get a box in the mail a couple of weeks later. Now, I will tell you that in order to use that website, they ask you to say like the number of copies that you're going to be making. Well, you have only 1 copy per page, but you will need to open each of the file folders that you get from Erica when you purchase the program and count how many pages are in each of those. So like you'll open the letter A file folder and it has 50 pages. Then you open letter B and it has 32. And then you open the letter C and it has whatever. You have to add all of those pages up. So then when you go to the MGX Copy website, then you will put in the boxes. You say, I want 1 copy of, and then there's like 1,700 whatever that you've added up. There may be some pages that you don't want to copy or that you don't want printed, or if you just want to do like the vowels first or something like that, it might be more cost effective for you to print them at home or to go to like an office supply store. But if you're going to do the bulk of the printing, I would recommend that you go to a supplier that you can just submit them digitally to their company and then print them to you. For example, MGX Copy. So anyway, that's what you do. So then you're going to get a huge box in the mail that has all of the pages in it. And some things that I would recommend is to just get some file folders and then just go through the whole box and separate all of those pages. So all of your letters will go in some, your daily learning notebook would go in a folder, your lesson plans that come will go in a folder, your games will go in a folder. So just to separate it all out, it's going to take you some time to put the whole curriculum together. It's not really a no prep curriculum in that sense, in that you do need to do a little bit of front loading so that it's ready when you go to teach it to your child, okay? So the first thing I wanted to show you is the the lesson plans and just kind of the instructions that come in the folder. So let's go over here and I'll show you those few things, okay? So I put these in a binder just because it's easier for me to do. And this is one of the first pages that you get that I really appreciate. And she has a list of all of some preschool games that they play in their school. And then she goes through and lists a bunch of books that you can get from your local library. And so she has them listed by alphabet. So first are the books for all of the letters. And then she goes through each letter of the alphabet, and she lists a bunch of books that are great to use for each of the letters, okay? So that's really helpful. She also has instructions for the letters of the week games. Each packet comes with these types of games in it, so she just explains how to use those types of games, so that's really great. And then she also includes a list of collage ideas for each of the letters of the alphabet. So if you're doing letter A, then for a collage, you can put apple seeds or apple jacks on the letter A, as she talks about a little bit when you're on that letter. Okay, so the next thing that you get is your daily learning notebook. And this is just a notebook. You just put it in a regular binder. And here's the little binder cover that comes with it. And it says My Daily Learning Notebook. And she explains how to create the daily learning notebook, and on her website she goes into additional details about it. It's really great. I still use it in my school today, even though we're not using this curriculum anymore. Okay, she has each month gets one, what am I saying? Okay, each month has a page so you can talk about the weather and the month. Each letter has a page that's a coloring page that you can put in the daily learning notebook, and you would do one page per week depending on what letter you're working on. She also has a shape, so each shape will get into the binder once a week and you will talk about that shape. And then she explains different activities that you can do with the shape. So, you know, copy the word, put stickers on all the corners, color the word or color the shape, trace the shape, that kind of cut the shape out. She has a couple here. This is actually in her K4 curriculum, but cut the shape out. You can easily do that with this curriculum too. Just cut the shape out and then you can put it on like construction paper and create a book for it. So anyway, the other thing that comes for your daily learning notebook, and I forgot to show you this, these are the pages that come for each day of the week. So you're teaching writing the word and then coloring today's number, and then you write before and after, and then she has these word sheets so that you can put them in the boxes. You would put this in a sheet protector, and then you can use a dry erase marker and erase it on and off. Anyway, so she has each number day traceable so that you can then trace the number depending on what day of the week it is, and that is good practice. And she has one for each day of the week, so you're practicing how to write. Okay, so that's really again, that's part of the daily learning notebook. Oh, and this is the last page that's part of the daily learning notebook. I didn't use this as a preschool for my preschooler. We're using it now for K4, but you can tell the temperature, the time. If you have like an analog clock, they can just copy it. If you have a digital clock, they can just copy the numbers, and then what type of clothes will I wear today. So that's, again, a part of your daily learning notebook. And then the other thing that you will get in the folder or in the whatever box that you print are her letter of the week lesson plans. And she goes through, and this is for a 5-day week. I never did a 5-day week, so I always kind of modified it for a 3-day week. But if you have older kids, then she has taken that into account, and you can have your preschooler doing work for 5 days as you are working with your older children as well. And she goes through each of the letters. So I had the whatever first, but anyway, so each of the activities, she kind of mixes it up a little bit, so not every week is exactly the same. Anyway, so those are the kind of preparation supplies that she's provided. Oh, and then the last thing that she does put in there, this is a evaluation sheet. So this is for my son. You can see I've kind of put a couple of check marks here and there. This is from last year. And then you can kind of see how your child is going along, okay? The next thing here, this is just an example of one of the letters of the week. So for this program, Z is for zebra. And here is I'm going to show you all of the activities that come with this program, okay? So Z is for zebra. She has a do a dot activity here. She has, let's see, the zebra. This is just a tracing the Z for zebra. This is cutting practice. This is a do a dot activity, so if you have do a dot markers, you can have the student dot each of the circles in order so that it's like they're writing it. You don't want to have them just do it in any random order because then they're not getting the idea of how they would write it properly. You can also use stickers if you don't have do a dot markers, or if you have any other manipulative, they can just put them on top of each circle. This is a poke page, so you can get a pencil or a pen and put it, I like to put it on the carpet, and then the child just pokes holes in the letter, kind of following it along. Pretty fun activity. This is a game that she's created to roll a zebra, and you would roll the dice and then you can color or create the zebra. So if you roll a 1, then he has a tail. If you roll a 3, then he has hind legs, front leg. Anyway, so that's just a fun game with dice and recognizing numbers and that sort of thing. And then here's the large zebra for the roll a zebra game. This is a color puzzle, so you would, once you receive the paper, you would cut it up, cut the pieces apart, and then you can either make, interesting cut lines to try and create puzzles depending on what stage of learning you're at with your child, or you can just cut like a straight line down and then they have to match based on the color. She has this for all of them, all of the letters, so they will have lots of practice with that. This is a graphing activity, so you will need to have some additional manipulative, and they count how many zebras there are, and then they put that many manipulatives, whether it's stickers or dots or little counting bears or something like that, on the counting. And then she has it for each number. Okay, this is a lacing card, so you will need to have it laminated, or you can glue it onto like the back of a cereal box for the cardboard, and then you get a hole puncher and just punch holes kind of randomly around it, and then the child can lace and practice that fine motor skills. This is a letter disc match, so with some wooden discs, or you can use like letter magnets if you have letter magnets, and the child will match the letter to the word zebra and they can spell out the word. It practices letter recognition, and she has it for uppercase and lowercase. This is another either do a dot activity. She titles it a magnet page. So if you have any kind of manipulative that you can glue magnets onto the back of it. If you have just a metal cookie sheet like this one, here's just a metal cookie sheet, then you can put it on top of it and it creates a magnet that the child can then stick the activity on. Here are number cards. These are just flash cards, so you would cut them apart and the child can then recognize the numbers. Here is a number practicing page to practice writing. I would slip this in a sheet protector, or you can laminate it so that the child can trace it over and over again, and then you can also use it year after year with your other subsequent children that you're teaching. This is a pattern activity. So you would cut these apart, and then you can either glue or you could put magnets on the back of them if you want to reuse the activity and laminate the whole thing. Then you will be able to do that. This is a puzzle. She's got the lines cut out for you, so you just cut it apart and create the Z is for zebra puzzle. This is for a scavenger hunt. So if you're doing a workbox system, then you can put this in your workbox and then you will go around the house and collect activity or items that start with Z and put it in the box so that you can have a little show and tell of the Z activities. Size sorting, again, you will need to prepare this. So you cut it apart and laminate it if you want to use it over and over again, or you can use it. When you have it printed at MGX copy, the material's actually a pretty sturdy paper, so if you're only doing it, you know, one time with your one child, it should last for the next child as well. So you may not have to necessarily laminate every page, but if you've got a classroom setting where there are multiple children using it, you'll want it to be more durable. This is a tracing page, so for this, I would have the child trace it once with a pencil and then give them a color crayon or a marker so that they can have more fun and choose their own color. But anyway, here's your uppercase and lowercase sort. So this is the page that you put it on, and then she has the sorting pieces as well. So then you cut those out and you can sort it. This is a Dominoes Game, and I know it's kind of hard to tell because for you it's just a bunch of zebras, but you would cut the domino pieces this way. And so she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 domino pieces, and then you can, play the domino matching game. That's kind of a fun one. And then these are large floor numbers, and you can either put them on the floor or you can tape them around the room. And there's all kinds of games that you can play for number recognition when it comes to these large floor numbers. And she has them up to number 9. And each zebra is a different color. Oops. Each zebra is a different color, so you can see, whatever. And then if you put them up around the room, then you can shout out the numbers and the kids have to, find the number and go and touch it. Or you can put them on the floor and do like a game where the music turns on, and when the music's off, then you shout out the number. Any of those types of activities are fun. Okay, so this is the geometric version of Z, and then they just have the blocks. So if you don't have these manipulatives, this game is kind of hard to duplicate, but you can purchase magnetized shapes or geometric shapes so that you can then be talking about squares and diamonds and rhombus, triangles, and then the student will build the letter with those shapes. This is the big Z and little Z that you will use for those collages. I showed you at the beginning of the video about the collage ideas. So if you have stickers or something for the letter Z, then you can put those types of things on. I guess this is upside down. If you have any other, I don't know, letter Z is always kind of tricky. So some examples that she uses is to use stripes of construction paper as zebra stripes. So you can just, anyway, use your creativity and imagination as you see fit. Okay, now I wanted to show you really quickly, let me put all this aside for just a minute here. I want to show you really quickly how I store a completed file folder. So this is A is for Apple, and I have these snack-sized bags as well as sandwich-sized bags, and then it just keeps the pieces together. So this is for the pattern page, and I have put the pieces laminated here and then I put a little magnet on the back. So then he can put this on our cookie sheet and the magnets will stick on the back. So that's kind of fun. Then also these are the big sizes, so you can see kind of just how I do it. I have all of the letter A's for this capital letter and lowercase letter activity, and then I've put them in the bags so then he can match. And all of these I've put a little magnet on the back of it so that it will stick to the cookie sheet. And it just makes it a little bit easier so that they're not flopping around if he bumps it or something like that. And then when we're done, then we just put them back in the bag. I also have the puzzle is in this bag, so it's easier. This is a another way to store things. So this is a sheet protector, and I have put several activities inside the sheet protector. It just kind of keeps them all together a little bit better. And then these activities here, this is the color matching game, and you'll see that I have cut this with like little whatever cuts, just so that it's more whatever fun, I guess, to make a puzzle out of it instead of just having a straight line across. And then as my son got more advanced in his color knowledge, that he could recognize the colors, then I would just make a straight line cut across so that he would have to actually recognize the color and not so much the shape. Size sorting is in here. This is shape matching, and each of the apples has a different shape on it. And then you match the apple together to make the shape. Okay, so that's kind of how I store that. And then to kind of keep all of these loose leaves from falling out, then you put it back in the sheet protector. And you can put, then you can put all of your letter A in a binder if you wanted to do that and keep it all organized. This is the lacing card, just as an example I was showing you with the zebra. I've laminated it front and back and then put holes on the edges of it with a hole punch. Now I didn't laminate everything, again, because we just have one child that was using it. This is the apple counting game. So you see I didn't laminate that, but I can put one page in a sheet protector, and then that would protect it for the time that my son is using it, and then when we're finished I'll just take it out when we go to store it. So that's just another idea if you want to do that. This is the tracing page. Again, I put it in a sheet protector so that we can write on it and then erase it and use it again for another child, and it's cheaper than having it laminated. I did laminate this one, and then I realized it was just taking so much money to laminate everything. So anyway, and then these are just the pages for that. So there you go. Okay, so hopefully that was a little bit informative, and then you can make a more educated decision on whether or not this is something you want to bring into your home. I really enjoy this curriculum. I've liked it for my son, and I'm going to use it for my daughter. It just is really great, and I'll tell you why. Here are a couple of pros that I really appreciate about this program. So one is that it's really attractive manipulatives, or really attractive copies. I just think that each of the ideas that she uses are just really cute, and she's got fun pictures and things like that, so it looks good, and that is a pro. The other pro that I enjoy, or that I like, is that they're activities. They're not just a bunch of worksheets that say write the A here, now write the A there, but that she has really diversified activities for the letter, and you can practice it several times throughout the week and not be bored with doing the same type of handwriting practice every single day, or letter recognition practice every single day with flashcards or whatever. So that's what I really do like about the program. Also, it's really inexpensive. It's only $15 plus the printing to have it printed for yourself. So if you're tight on a budget, you can just print one letter, every paycheck or whatever, and try and kind of pick and choose which activities you like and print those pages. And they're really great for re-practicing the information as well. So I do really like this program, and I would highly recommend it. I just think it's really great. Now, there are a couple of cons that I would say if I was gonna play devil's advocate, which, Erica, I love your products. I buy them all the time, so this is nothing negative toward you. But I would say that by the time you get through 26 letters and you're on to letter Z, whatever order you go in, I feel like the activities become really repetitive. And we really enjoyed the program, and we did it clear up until probably February, having started in August. But by February, I really did notice that we were kind of, I would pull out the lacing card, and my son wouldn't want to do the lacing activity because we've been doing it every week, or I would pull out the whatever, I can't think of an example, but the activities, each letter has the same kind of activities with very little variation. The letter Z has the dominoes and the letter A does not, but for the most part, the activities, there's only so many activities that you can do. Obviously, for every letter, you're not going to have a million activities because each letter has different ones. Does that understand what I'm saying? So it's not something that could be fixed, but I would encourage you to find other supplemental activities to kind of mix it up a little bit, because by the time that you get through all of the letters, you as a teacher might be kind of burned out from repeating the same activities over and over again. And the student might also be a little bit disengaged because they've done that type of activity so many times. Now, some of the activities will never get old. For my son, it was the floor letters. He wants to play the floor letter game every day of the week. So some activities never get old, but others may, just kind of depending on the child and kind of how you run your preschool. So I would encourage you that this is not necessarily a comprehensive curriculum that you'll want to use. You may want to pull in one or two other supplemental activities, not anything expensive, free things that you find on Teachers Pay Teachers or online or whatever, just other games that you can integrate along with this, because it is a little bit one note by the time you get to the end of the letters. But again, I love the curriculum. I highly recommend it. It's very affordable, and every mom can use it. You don't have to be a teacher to teach your kids the alphabet and to enjoy and have fun doing it. So I really like this product, and again, I would highly recommend it. I would encourage you to head over to Erica's website. She actually does a video, and I'll link it up here in the Eye in the Sky. She does a video that is how she kind of prepares her curriculum and how she stores it in her homeschool and all that kind of stuff. So it's also very informative. There's not a lot of other videos out there. I've noticed I myself was looking for a curriculum review when I went to buy this curriculum. So hopefully some of you out there, my viewers, will find this helpful. So that if you want to do it, then you'll be able to make a more educated decision of what it is you'll actually be purchasing. Anyway, like this video if you liked the content of this video, and make sure that you subscribe so that you are notified when I make more videos like this. Have a good one, guys.